TeamPokeColors family, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're ready because we have our PSA submission back from PSA. They came literally today. Smash a like, subscribe down below, and also if you haven't seen the video where I predict what grades I think these cards will get, it'll be linked in the top right corner. So if you want to go watch that first, see the cards in their raw form before you see them in the slab, that's fine. If not, just stick around. Let's get right into today's video. So before we get started looking at the grades here, I do want to let you guys know that all of these grades were revealed first on Twitter/X. So go down below in the description, hit me a follow up on there. We're almost to 1,000 followers and I want to do a huge, massive giveaway for when we do hit that goal over there. And we're almost at 6K over here. Like, what the heck? When did that happen? So if you're new, glad to have you. Welcome to the TPC family. And we got some other big things planned, but for now, let's take a look at these and let's see what we have with our first card here. So first one, little tag team action, full art action. Guess the grade. Here's the front. Here's the back. Let me know in the comments. What do you think this got? It got a PSA 7. PSA 7, like, all right. I was like, okay, PSA 7, it's not bad. Not bad. Very interesting. And I do want to say that I know all the grades because I took pictures of them and saw what the grades were, but you guys don't know the grades. So let me know if anything out of all these grades surprises you the most. I have some thoughts and feelings, but I'm not going to talk about that in this video because we're just happy that they got here before the weekend and 151 release. So yeah, PSA 7, we'll put them right there. Next up, Serena. Ooh, full art Serena. Thoughts, predictions. I predicted in the previous video that this would get a 10, and sure enough, it did. Beautiful PSA 10 Serena full art trainer. I'm not personally a full art trainer collector, but I know there's a lot of people who do collect full art trainers, and PSA 10 looks very nice, especially with this artwork. Super cool. Waifu boys, where you at? Where you at, waifu boys? I'm not a waifu boy, so not worried about it. What is going on here, folks? Okay, there we go. Next up, we got the Tomokazu artwork of the Eevee Snorlax from the tins that we opened up on the channel that were filled with Crimson Invasion packs. Whippy. So this one got a PSA 8. What? PSA 8? Yeah, I was really hoping this would get a 9 or 10 at least because I graded one of these a few submissions ago and I got a 10 and I sold it. I'm like, dang, I shouldn't have sold it because then tag teams really went up in price and I'm like, ah, shoot. Would have been a cool collection piece. But this one, I don't know. Tell me why this got an 8. I would love to know your comments and thoughts. For those of you that, grade cards, maybe it's the centering, but like some of the other tag teams that I graded centering is like exactly the same and they got 9s mostly. So when we get to those, I'll show you what I mean. But yeah, some of these grades are a little wonky grades. Next up, you guys probably saw it, but this guy got an 8. Really unfortunate. I think they gave it an 8 because of the top there. You can kind of see across the top there's like a very rigid cut from the factory, so it's not really my fault. The centering looks great and phenomenal though, and it looks really nice in the slab, but PSA 8 for this card kind of stinks. Like, I really wished it would have gotten a 10 because this artwork is nuts, like literally insane. There's so much going on here, but PSA 8 on this guy, it's fine. I'm not upset. Next we have the this is the ETB promo version, because I did send in the Pokemon Center stamped version, but the ETB version got a PSA 9, which was surprising. But when we take a look at the stamped version, it got a 7, a PSA 7. You know what I mean? That's kind of wild. Centering's pretty good. No surface problems. The only issues are maybe like these little white points on the corners of the edges, but like they're barely even there, and they graded the some of the e-readers with worse condition a 7 as well. So I'm thinking that there might be some underlying reasons as to why this might have gotten a 7 and not a higher grade. Maybe take, for example, the fact that this card in a PSA 7 is significantly less in value than a PSA 10, of course. Comments to be reserved for another video, maybe. Depends on if I want to keep grading with PSA or not. But yeah, this one got a 9, so that's cool. That's pretty hype. I wish it would have got a 10. Another oddball situation going on here, but both these cards came from the same box, and they both got PSA 7s. PSA 7s, right? Like, tag team you know, like looking at the centering, they look dang near similar than the 9s. Like they look similar to the 9s. And if you look at the edge wear, like there's not really much going on. Like the Espeon has a little white. Can you see that little white thing there? Little white thing there. But that's not like PSA 7 worthy, right? I mean, come on. It's PSA stepping up their grading game. The centering is not the greatest on the Umbreon and Darkrai, but the Espeon Deoxys to have that centering and it also get a 7, very weird. Oh well. Next up, Pichu e-reader from Expedition. Boom, 7. I'll take it. You know what? Looking at the grades from the other e-readers, being that this one was the cleanest, it makes sense that this one graded a little bit better because moving to, like, here's the back of it. Very crispy, very nice. I think it's PSA 8 or 9 worthy, but if you look at this Raichu, for example, the centering is a little bit off in the front. And the back's got some pretty massive, you know, whitening going on. But this one only got a 6. So, like, to go from this with massive whitening to, you know, no whitening at all whatsoever on the sides or no dings visibly noticeable on the Pichu, for the Pichu to only get a 7, I'm like, what? Like, some of these things don't make sense. Let me know in the comments. Make them make sense for me, because I have no idea. Like this one too, this one's like weirdly cut in the corner. It's got whitening, you know, whitening up there and there. PSA 6 for the Crystal Kingdra, which is, I mean, it's all right. I was hoping for a 6 at minimum. Obviously wanted to hope for a better grade, but yeah, PSA 6 Crystal Kingdra. Like, I don't even know if it's worth holding on to at this point, given that it's, you know, 6 and it is pretty beat. So yeah, and the top's got some weird, is that peeling going on at the top? Like, I don't know, I can't tell. It's a super cool card, don't get me wrong, but like in a 6, is it like, ooh, I'd rather have a 7 or 8 at least for a crystal. Maybe even a 9, obviously, but that's not a PSA 9. This guy, another clean card, in my opinion. Another PSA 6, like, okay, what happened? Well, whitening. That's pretty much it. Foil's got some scratching, but not enough to where it would like bleed through just looking at it like this. Like, there's no deep scratches. Maybe the surface, a little blotchy in the hollow foil, but PSA 6 worthy? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting soft on these cards when I consider going for grading, but here's the one that just ties it all together, folks. If you guys thought those grades were wonky, wait till you see this. All right, look at this. Look at the centering. Look at the texture. It's not one of those non-textured versions. Like, there's texture on it. Okay, and then let me flip it over. Look at the back. Okay, little minuscule, like, I can't even say the word, but little white dot. Weird. I don't remember those white dots being there when I sent it out, but what grade do you think this got? Would you guess I don't know, PSA 8 grade on this card? I don't know. This one was very surprising, because I'm like, okay, why is this an 8? I don't know. Comments to be reserved for a later video, but I don't think that card is a PSA, and I think it's at least a 9 or 10. I mean, come on. Here's a tag team. A lot of these tag teams are pretty cool. They're just from tins or boxes that I collected right when I got back into the hobby, back in 2019, before the big boom of 2020. PSA 9. That's right, PSA 9. I think the only issue with most of these tag teams is the centering. Otherwise, like in the Espeon Deoxys and the Darkrai Umbreon case, they're a little whitening, but it's kind of weird. This card here, graded this one because I thought it was really well centered at the bottom, and I feel like VMAXs are a lot easier to grade because you only have this little bit at the bottom to go off of. So as long as it's centered down here versus the top, you know, like as long as this isn't too thick at the bottom, I think you're good. Because this one got a 10, baby. Let's go. PSA 10. Super cool card to have in a 10. And honestly, might consider trying to get the other VMAX trainer galleries in 10s just because, I don't know, I already have this one. Might as well go for the collection. And I do think that VMAX trainer galleries are very, very underappreciated right now. And once they do get more appreciated, even the Vs, because the Vs still have texture. Like, that's cool, man. Like, that's like an alt art V right there. Which also got a PSA 10. Let's go, baby. Crobat, my boy. Obviously some of the other ones like Boltund V, I don't know that I'd want to have in a 10. I think it just depends on the Pokemon, but or the artwork itself too. But this one in a 10 is really cool because I pulled this from a pack, you know, and it's always nice when you pull something and grade it versus buy it from somebody else or trade it, get it from trade and grade it. Then it gets like a 7 or 6, like those e-readers. I didn't pull those. I never have opened at Expedition. Celebi V Altar from Fusion Strike. Boom, PSA 9. Now, I really, really wish this would have got a 10. The only reason I think it didn't is because, well, comments to be reserved, but maybe it's left to right. Maybe you could use that as an excuse, but I've seen 10s with worse centering than this on the back, so I don't know. PSA, I don't know, man. Maybe the grader was just having an interesting day. This one is super cool. Love the art. PSA 9. Love that a lot of these tag teams from the 10s got 9s. This one, PSA 10, baby. The only tag team card out of all the ones I graded that got a 10, and it just happens to be the one that has the like artwork I don't care as much about. I'm gonna still keep this obviously because to grade this and get it a 10 is incredible, especially because tag teams are so hard to grade. But yeah, very, very weird that this one got a 10 and the other ones didn't. Like if they're 9s, they might as well be 10s. So I'm kind of inclined to maybe resubmit them to try to get 10s. Hope that my luck is better with a different grader, but in that event I might get like an 8 or something ridiculous. So we'll see. Here's another 10 promo. Got these from the 10s that we opened on the channel. Boom, PSA 9. 3 for 3 on the 10s that had the promos from, well actually no, that's not true. The Eevee Snorlax got an 8. Like, okay, whatever. Last one before we get to the grail of the submission. You might think the Crystal King would be the grail, but it got a 6, so it's not the grail. Listen, this one also got a 9. PSA 10. Oh, PSA 9. Very cool Charizard card. I wanted to grade the Venusaur that went with this box promo set, but it was worse centered off than this one was, so I didn't take that risk today with this submission. And lastly, if you guys haven't seen the last video, or if you just have come from that video and wanted to see, you guys already know what this one is, but it's our boy Latias in a PSA 10. Super cool card, one of my favorites. Love the foil. Like, look at that foil, man. I know it's Japanese. I don't really collect Japanese cards, but I pulled this from the V-Star Universe booster box, and I'm like, yep, this is getting graded because it's my favorite, one of my favorite Pokemon, and the foil is incredible. I really wish they had a Latios to complement this because I would, you know, have the other one right here if I could, but they only have the Latios in reverse, unfortunately. So there you have it, folks. There's my PSA submission. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, press a like, subscribe down below. Try to make it a little bit shorter and sweeter versus taking 30 minutes to go through all these. But if you made it this far in the video, please do me a favor. Use code TPC VaultX if you want to purchase any binders or supplies coming up for Pokemon 151. They do have the new all white binder, which is really clean. And I do have a white binder from, I think, Ultra Pro that houses all my Neo sets. But this new white binder for 151, it's going to be crispy. And yeah, so make sure you use code TPC VaultX, get 10% off your order, and it helps support the channel. And thank you guys so much for watching the videos. And we're almost at 6K. Like, whoa, let's go, baby. 6K. We can hit 10K by the end of the year. I don't know. We'll see. That's gonna be my goal. It's been my goal since the start. But either way, super glad to have you all part of the family. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Peace.
Pull up to the club. It's a long line, but you don't care because you can get a whatever it is.